face the world's newest threat, they'll need a new kind of hero.
Agent Vasco just survived a 46-story fall.
She's hard to resist and harder to kill. Terminator 3's Kristana Loken is Painkiller Jane, a Sci-Fi Channel original series, every Friday at 10.
If I end up with less kills than other people, that's because I'm focused on strategy. I'm gonna be as much as I can. I'm you know, communicator and
You're like the coach.
strategist. If I'm in a corner with a shotgun, that's because I'm busy thinking through the rest of the match. Yeah.
Okay.
Like
tip
you
number
coordinated your way to like a 4-kill average last night.
I had the most assists. I did.
one. Rob, rule number 1: communicate. I want to hear you chitter chatter. I want to hear you talking. You promised. If we're all in the same room.
I get tunnel vision.
Right now, I don't need you to talk. I need you to talk during the game.
Okay.
Okay. Tell them what you see the bad guys doing. I don't want you to try. I want you to do. Your buddy is
charge the red
shoe.
base by yourself.
I don't want shoes back, not covered. If I see assassinations, I'm blaming the other guy.
2 people go after the rocket launcher. 2
Yep.
people go after the sword. Don't go after it by yourself.
Don't do anything by yourself. It's a team game.
Like let the guy with the RL charge first to clear out anything. And even if he dies, someone else could follow behind him and pick it up.
And if we play oddball, like one of you two is ball.
Yeah. You guys are great. You guys are the best. This will be our last time to play Halo 2 before this Halo 3 shit hits.
They shamed us at Halo 3.
There is no shame here. This is our game.
This is for our honor.
It's our house. We must protect this house.
Never again.
Ever.
I hear Popeye.
Popeye!
That must mean you're playing Darkness.
I am, well, I'm kind of watching Darkness right now. It's got two in-game TV channels. You can watch Popeye, or you can watch Nosferatu.
Oh, Nosferatu is very much more the Darkness level television. And it's all just public, what is it? Public domain?
Public domain TV.
What kismet that you were playing
I know.
the Darkness. But I brought by the comic book. I know you had said you weren't that interested, but it's a Garth Ennis and Mark Silvestri book, and it's actually not that bad. Like he's still got the little too long hair, you know, and
Some
very
people like that.
slick. He ends up in this comic like fighting this great big Angelus, this chick with these huge gazongas.
Yeah, we haven't
And
really
she
seen
has a
too much
familiar like you
boss
end up
fights.
yeah, like so far you're just fighting dudes with guns, and you've got these like crazy little creatures that you can summon.
Someone over there!
The Darkling.
The Darklings.
Would you like to see one of those?
Yes, why don't you summon one now for us?
Which kind?
You get the
Kamikaze,
Berserker, the
Gunner?
Kamikaze, and the Gunner. Now the Berserker, he'll just run up and beat the shit out of people, right? Kamikaze is my personal favorite because you summon him, and then he'll just run up and explode. And then there's Gunner, and that's actually a little female Darkling, and she runs around like, yeah, boss, and she like
I didn't
shoots her
even realize it was
giant
female.
gun. You use the direction pad to select your weapons or your darkness power, and it comes up in the corner, and it lets you know, oh, here's what one you can control now. And then once your darkness powers are out, then like you get 2 in this demo, which is like one of them is this cool arm that you can use to like impale bad guys or kill the lights, and then
Much more importantly,
or
pick up objects,
cars
and
or
throw them around
dumpsters.
and climb on them.
Well, you pointed out to me, you don't quite throw them. It's not like the
can.
Half-Life 2 gun, you know.
You need some momentum. Like you have to run forward and then kind of let go to throw it.
Yeah, it's kind of like whoa.
Hey, there ain't nothing to speak of here.
We both attacked this particular level completely differently.
Right, the first way through.
You used your demon arm to stack up the dumpsters.
I did it
and then
fun.
jumped it over.
Yeah.
Right, which was fun.
Yeah.
And then I broke out the window on the side, and I used a little snake head. And that was a little
You did it the
difficult.
way you're supposed to.
Do you think that's it? I did it properly. And then I used a little snake head to come around and like wipe out the controls for the gate. The environment seemed pretty open because you used the dumpsters to crawl up on top of the roof and
Right.
everything.
In the same
and-
area you're talking about. There's these. You can put the dumpster down, get on top of it, jump up to the next platform, reach down, pick the dumpster back up, pull it up to you, jump on top of it, go up, and keep doing that. And you can get to secret areas. In the demo version that we're playing, it doesn't seem like there's anything secret you can find, and I put some time in to try that. But and eventually, if you get high enough, there are invisible barriers that block you off. But you know, there's obviously some freedom up there, and I would imagine there's going to be some stuff that you can find in certain areas.
Now, this is the same team that did Riddick.
It is.
Which
They love
I'm-
violence.
Yeah, and they love putting you in a situation where it's dark for everyone but you, and then making things glow so you can see them.
Yeah.
You know, they like that night vision thing, and they were like, how can we do this again? Hey, I picked up this comic book the other day, and you know what? There's a dude in it who's totally into the darkness. We should use that.
Yeah, it's very similar to Riddick, but you know, they want to let you do a lot more stuff. So they have to add that on, and obviously it's going to make it more complicated, but I think it works pretty well. I mean, you're not going to have the ultimate physics throwing game in here,
Right.
but you're going to get that on top of all this other stuff, and you can move the physics around while you're moving and doing all this other stuff. So to have all that available at the same time, I think it's a good solution. I really like the way they have the aiming set up. Like, you may not even notice it if you played it first, but you have these little red dots, and you can aim at enemies independently. So like if you're around a corner, your hands will come up and like, you know, you hold your gun up, and then you go around the corner, and it's like, hey, that can conceive, but this one can't.
Right.
And
This
it's
one
very
comes around.
much a realistic, like, you can shoot what you would be able to shoot if you were standing there.
You do have like these moves if you really get up on a dude to kill him. You have all these like gunplay.
Basically, if you shoot somebody and you're standing right next to them, you don't have to do anything else. You happen to be in their face and you hit the shoot, then you're gonna do some kind of throw where you put your gun in their chin or something, like when you kick them down and shoot them and stuff like that.
And you said that the unlike Riddick, you said that the levels are going to be non-linear. Like you can use the subways
Yeah, we haven't
to.
seen too much of this because this demo is kind of like structured into 3 chunks that we can play. But from what we've been told, you can use the subway and you can kind of go back in these areas that you've seen before, or side missions and stuff like that. It'll be interesting to see how much they do with that, because that's much different from what we saw in Riddick.
Yeah, very different. I know. I have to say, when I first heard they were doing this, maybe this makes me biased, but I was a little disappointed that I wasn't going to see another Riddick game. Like,
Oh, you will.
I wanted them to do another one right away, and I wanted multiplayer in that too, because that was something I wanted out of Butcher Bay. Like when I played it, I would have liked to have had some kind of multiplayer aspect to that game because I enjoyed it so much. I enjoyed how the single player felt. And whenever I enjoy single player like that, and there was so much hand-to-hand combat, which this has as well.
Not the same kind. Though. It's
No,
much different.
that's the thing. It doesn't feel like it at all. So it makes me sad. It makes me want another Riddick game even more. Now, you seem to know a lot more about, like, I don't know anything about the multiplayer. What's that going to be about?
So multiplayer in this game is you play as a character who can switch between the Darkling and the human, the mobsters. So there's a roster of mobsters and a bunch of Darklings. The Darklings don't have the special powers that they have in single player. They're basically just really fast and they can jump really far. So they can jump, literally across from like wall to wall, like 100 yards across. And
Can they
it's
wall
awesome.
crawl too?
They can wall crawl. You can chase people. It feels really cool when you're running on the ground and then you just run up the wall like really smoothly and you chase somebody around. And all that. Beyond that, who knows how long it's gonna last? But it's definitely got some interesting.
You missed! Come on, they're gaining on us! Oh, fuck me!
Oh shit!
I like that, like right away at the beginning, like spoiler, but it is like in the first 2 minutes. One of your buddies who's talking to you at the beginning, and you think like, oh, we're together now, we're fighting together, right?
Yeah.
And you're slowly loading your shotgun, and all of a sudden he leans out and he gets decapitated.
Yeah.
Like he just gets killed, and
then
then
you
you
kick
kick
him
him out.
Yeah. So ESRB, you should let Starbreeze start the game with the car scene. You shouldn't make them put credit scenes and title screens and all this other stuff. You should say hit power and that scene starts.
Really?
That's what they want to do, but they're not
And
sure if they're gonna be able
ESRB
to.
is like, no, you
They've
can't do
been
that.
unsure, which leads me to think they're not gonna be able to.
More like a movie that way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the ESRB does know what is best for us.
Whatever, guys, you want to see the face of true darkness? Stare into this. Oh my God, Shane.
What's up?
You're hardcore. I'm working on Pokemon here, and I think I've come to the right place. I need to get them all. I need to catch them all. Yes, and I need your help.
I heard you actually
I
have
need
more
you to-
Pokemons than me, so let's do some
No,
training.
look at how many Pokemon you have.
Those
They're
are-
everywhere.
These are actually Mark McDonald's.
Are you telling me that you
Pokemons?
have more Pokemon in real life than you do in the game?
These aren't even mine. In fact, I haven't played a Pokemon game in a long time, but I used to be a big fan, and I want to get back in. And I feel like everybody's going to be playing this one because DS is so huge, and you can actually play online
It's
for
so
the
hot
first
now.
time. It's so hot right now. It's a very traditional Japanese RPG, turn-based, slow, and it's kind of an addictive curve. Once you give it like 5 hours, you start to feel like, I want to keep getting more things, raising them up. It's very, very old-fashioned.
Well, previously I have not liked Pokemon, but I'm 15 hours into this, plus add the 12 hours that I played to the Japanese version, and I really like it.
It's not that different.
It's not that different, but this is one of those Nintendo games where the sequel is the same game you played before, but very refined. And I feel like there are just so many small improvements in this game, from the graphical style, which isn't flashy, but it has a really nice charm to it.
Some people are really hating on them because they took 3D graphics to kind of like, make graphics look 2D like old Pokemon.
They made 3D graphics look like NES sprites.
Yeah,
like
basically.
everything is tiles. It's basically if you took an NES game and made like a pop-up diorama of it.
Right.
This is what Pokemon looks like.
If you've missed all the Pokemon in between Red and Blue and this one, this has some of the innovations that came earlier.
It has
like,
night and day.
like
It
Night
has
and Day.
genders. It has eggs.
Right. Well, and those are things that they introduced in games and then took them away. And why get rid of Night and Day? Like everybody liked it. So this one finally has all those features that people liked in the previous games in one place with the
Right.
new stuff like the online, which is a really good addition actually.
Well, online I think is probably the biggest addition. I mean, you can do whatever you want to the single-player mode, but the single-player mode is really just a MacGuffin It's a way to lead you through the game so that you collect lots of Pokemon to take online, and trade with your friends. The game has always been about competing with friends.
Yeah, I'm definitely impressed by the depth of the online mode. People were afraid they'd take it out of the US version. Nothing like that.
No,
It
that would
has-
be
it has the voice chat.
missing the point. The reason to play this is because you can now battle with people who aren't sitting next to you. You don't have to be connected with a link cable. Even if you're just going head to head, you still have wireless, which is much more convenient.
Well, and I was talking to my fellow Pokemaniac here at EGM, Brian, and he was dissing the game for not having more touchscreen functionality, but probably personally...
I guess it would be kind of cool if you could move around with the stylus or whatever, like Animal Crossing, but I really find myself using the touchscreen constantly in battle. I don't use the D-pad and buttons, even though I navigate through the game with that. But once I get into battle, you have these big touch panels, and they're really, really perfect. Like, if you need to switch out a Pokemon, then there's a little button at the bottom, and then you tap the big panel at the top. Really
he wanted
refined.
more like unique, like you're drawing attacks or blowing on. I was like, that's not what I want. Like
No.
Pokemon, it's like a treadmill and it's dependable and it's a little repetitive, but it's supposed to be that way. And if they fucked it up too much, they could have ruined Pokemon easily, I think.
Well, one thing that I would like to see more of is more varied battles. There's one section of the game that I've already been through where you go through a forest and a girl joins you, and for the entire time you're fighting through the forest, it's a 2-on-2 battles all the way through. So you're always fighting with her Chansey or whatever it's called. And having the 2-on-2 battles is so much better than the 1-on-1 because it's not just a matter of rock, paper, scissors, but you'll be up against, creatures of two different elements, two different types of characters, and so you kind of have to balance the choices you make.
Well, the 2-on-2 is a pretty new focus for this one. I think it does add a lot and it does change it up. But yeah, I don't want them to totally redo Pokemon battles. I think they're okay, fine the way they are.
I don't know. If you compare them to pretty much any other RPG, even Dragon Quest went to a multi-character system with Dragon Quest 2. So,
well, I'll keep catching them, you keep catching them, and in a little while, we'll fight.
Okay, we'll duke it out.
I'm gonna take some of my.
But I'm 10 hours ahead of you.
Yeah,
So
you can have a Charizard, a Jigglypuff, and a Pikachu right there.
Thanks.
And these are very valuable.
Yeah, I'll be sure to eBay them.
Don't eBay them. Those
Okay,
are gifts.
okay. I'll trade them
All
with
right.
other people.
That's the spirit. Gotta catch them all, Pokemon trainer.
Now see, it says I failed to load this map that I just played.
They're doing it on purpose, clearly.
This is how they ice us, dude. It's like icing the characters.
This never happens when I play Gears of War.
You don't play Gears of War ever.
I've played it a couple times.
Load that shit.
Motherfucker!
So, explain to me in like the basic dumb people terms why this happens.
Something's happening.
Don't get your hopes up.
Your shit going up there. Going up there. Two up there.
Mark, I'm coming up behind you with the RL.
Coming back up the
He
elevator.
got me with the sword at the top of the staircase. Frankie's got the
What's that?
careful sword guide.
We're all on the ramp.
I got him. I got it. I got the RL. Where's the guy? Get the sword. You got it?
Side side of the tower.
Fuck, I'm getting out of here. They have the high hallway. Don't even go up there. I'm on the shoddy side. Fuck. Did I miss fucking one of them? God damn it. No, that was terrible.
Okay, so then just like the next time I say go to the back of the map, go to the back of the map. You have the lead there, just hold back.
I mean, get out, get away. Here, overshield's there. Get it.
Pick it then.
I got it.
Back
Okay.
off. Why would you go up there to the top where they have all the leverage? That's retarded. There's been lots of listening.
One at the top of glass hallway.
Hey, I didn't show
Where are we going? What are we doing?
There's
Lower level.
Kill that guy. 45, 43. Hallway. If he has rockets. They're down at the bottom of the glass hall.
Everyone calm down. One more kill. That's
Rockets.
They're at the top, at the glass hallway.
Sniper's at the top of the glass hallway.
Oh, so close. Oh, overshield's there. Fuck. Fuck, you got it. I'm dead. I knew I was dead.
Game
That plasma pistol is super balanced. That's a fair weapon.
Right. What you want to see if should we try turf or what else do you want to play?
Anything
You guys
that'll-
don't think you could get
anything that
Desolation
could
to
load.
Try one more time.
You're on Desolation.
Yeah.
All right. Just keep it on Slayer then. 'cause
Try
the
Slayer?
other game-
On Desolation.
Slayer.
I'm getting overshield. Somebody come with me.
Kill. Game lead. Game the lead.
That's what I like to hear.
Don't worry, you guys. Guy in the middle, very middle of the map.
Coming up behind me with a blue shot.
Stay together. Stay together.
Right in the middle.
Yep, good, Rob.
Shot.
Get him. Almost dead.
Max low.
Sword up there, I'm grabbing it. You got sword, you got sword.
Alright, there's two of them.
No fucking way!
Grab that overshield.
Got the overshield. Blue overshield.
God damn it, how did I not fucking get that kill?
40-38.
Needed lasers.
Fuck, I'm gonna shove at you guys. I'm fucked.
Watch the overshield, Luke. I think he's coming toward you.
746, 48, 47.
Lost the lead. Tied the lead.
One coming around, one following me.
Game.
Rated E10 for ages 10 and up. An all-new, endlessly customizable adventure for the PSP PlayStation Portable System, Valhalla Knights. Create your warrior. Customize your battle party. Network play for versus battle or co-op quests. How will you play? Valhalla Knights.
You know, it's my belief, and it's been a long-standing belief of mine, that zombies make everything better.
Days later, plus co-op play, and that's all you need to know. It's like you shooting zombies in a telephone.
Yeah.
But the execution of every little piece of game design is so smart.
It goes way back to when I very first started working directly with Valve on the Counter-Strike bot. I would have the Valve guys who are very good at Counter-Strike, right, be playing against my bots. And we discovered that 2 or 3 people armed to the teeth on the counter-terrorist side against like 20 or 30 terrorist bots limited to knives was a lot of fun. We decided, this is really fun, we need to do this. And the obvious thing is zombies. They're going to kill you if you don't kill them, so grab a gun and go.
The whole world is infected with this incredibly virulent, powerful strain of the rabies virus,
right.
And you're naturally immune. You're one of this group of 4 people who are just trying to get from point A to point B. That's what pretty much every level is. It's pretty clear where you need to go, and then zombies get in your way.
Right. The gameplay is simple. It's a first-person shooter. You can hold 2 weapons and a grenade, or what they have is pipe bombs and Molotov cocktails, and also a med pack at any given time. The only other move you have is a melee push to push zombies away from you when they approach you. You can hand items to people, and there's context-sensitive, like, looking and voice chat and all this sort of thing.
Looking at pain pills and saying, pain pills over here. It's a passive thing where you're reloading and your character shouts, reloading, and you know, oh, that guy's reloading, I need to, like, watch out for him. We started out, we were kind of, like, running around like chickens with our heads cut off. We were playing it like a first-person shooter, like just going in, we see something to shoot, we shoot it.
Right.
We weren't we were sitting right next to each other at terminals, but we weren't really communicating with each other, and we were dying, like a lot. What you figure out is, as soon as I start to move away from this group, I get ruined.
Yep.
It doesn't make you feel weak. It makes you feel like, yes, I really am part of a team. And that's because the AI is like so incredible. It's not cheap the way like Doom 3 was, where it's like, you know, you're using your flashlight and then there's a monster closet behind you, and there was no way of knowing.
That's because what you were talking about, the AI director.
It populates the world in a procedural way, and one of the reasons that we have it is it controls the drama of the experience. If everything is always the same, then it's boring. If there's not much going on, it's boring. If it's always crazy intense, then you get burned out and you're done. So drama is having a series of high points and low points, and the director does that. What it does is it monitors each survivor's experience individually and estimates their sort of tension level. And if they're getting really overworked and things are really crazy, then the director steps in and kind of backs things off a bit. And then, you know, after a certain amount of time, it's like, okay, it's time to ramp things back up, and it brings the drama up. And so you get this series of peaks and valleys that really creates a long-term dramatic experience. And keeps the game, you know, infinitely replayable. It's different every time you do it. And we actually experimented early on with human-placed triggers and generators and whatnot, even to the point of like each map would have 3 or 4 sets of triggers and generators, trying to mix it up, right? But people are really good, you know, pattern recognizers, right? So they would know sometimes the generator spawns there, ha, oh, okay, nothing, right? So when I actually took the effort to design out this system that totally algorithmically did it, the change was amazing. Like, I would watch our guys play test, and I'd watch them fake towards where generators used to be, right? And then a few seconds later, get totally slammed from some other place that they had no idea, right? So I still have fun playing the game because it's a challenge. It's like a sport, right? It's like, can I make it? Can I work with my team to survive this onslaught?
You know, if it was scripted, if you knew that every time, oh, I go out this door and around the corner, like, zombies are going to appear, then, you know, that's no fun. There are 4 different boss monsters. You know, one's like a giant tank that can break shit really easily. There's one that's like the alien in Aliens vs. Predator, that's really mobile and can jump up buildings and move all around. There's one that has a giant tongue and can lash you and grab you in.
And it like strangle you essentially, and like pull
you
up.
Yep.
The 2 sides of the game are completely different. The survivor experience is very accessible. You get in, you grab your guns, you survive with your friends, and shoot the infected. The infected side, you spawn in waves, but the infected themselves, each of them, it has very unique methods of playing. Like, for instance, the boomer, right? Big, fat, slow-moving guy, explodes when you shoot him, and can vomit, you know, and if his vomit hits a guy, then the mob just attacks him, right?
And then you become like zombie crack, and the zombies just run for you. We used that a couple times when like you were like infected with that. We moved you behind us. There was 2 of us. I think one of them was actually one of the guys at Valve who was playing as him. And one of them was a computer-controlled AI, and I didn't even realize it. I thought they were both dudes at Valve. That's how smart it was.
Yep.
And we just sat there in the hallway, and you stood behind us, and these zombies came flying up through this door, and we just brought them down. Like, just mowed them right down, and it was amazing. It was so fun.
I expect people, when they first play the game, they'll come in as survivors. They'll have a great time, you know, surviving with their friends, and that game you can play that forever, right? But if you want to try something a little different, then you can try your hand on the infected side. I expect the learning curve is a little steeper, but the rewards are very good and they're very different.
I think it's unfortunate that we didn't get to play as any of the boss monsters, because that is where the main difference from standard FPS gameplay is going to come.
Fundamentally, this is a co-op game. You don't see, like, you know, Joe Schmo bit you or so-and-so pounced you or anything like that, because that immediately made people combative and adversarial, right? Like, I'm going to get that guy, you know? And we didn't want you to think about that. We wanted you to think about your team and playing cooperatively. The other thing is this is a challenge for me to try to construct AI behaviors that you can't tell whether these guys are run by bots or run by people.
We get all the way to the top of this hospital. We have to signal this helicopter to come and get us. And now we're waiting for the helicopter. So, of course, zombies are attacking, and 2 tanks show up, which are really hard to bring down.
Yes.
One of them comes over and just smashes his shit out of you. You're dead.
Yes.
And then I get to the ramp that leads up to the helicopter, and I get knocked down because this tank will throw debris, and he threw some piece of the roof at my head.
Yeah.
And I'm down, but I'm calling out for help. But the other 2 survivors, they're trying to get over to me, but between me and them is one of the tanks. And so like, I'm like down on the ground, shooting from the ground. We're all screaming at this point. We're like, just stay alive, just shoot everything you can. And then I can see like over here, one of the doors to the roof breaks open and zombies just start streaming out. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm lying there on the ground and zombies are like coming and like swarming over me and I'm like, no!
Yeah.
I died. Oh no, I'm dead. Helicopter lands behind me. I'm on the ramp to the helicopter. There is my destroyed corpse being mauled by zombies. They shoot the zombies off me, but no, go on. Go, be free. You know, name a school after me when you get to wherever the survivors are.
How many fucking oh shit moments are there in this game? I mean, that's what's so amazing about it.
This is the game that, you know, I have been wanting to play forever.
After we played it, I think we both kind of agreed that it was like one of the most awesome co-op experiences that we've ever had. And the Valve polish is there. It shows. At this point, there's no other co-op game that I'm looking forward to more than Left 4 Dead. And I can't wait for it to come out.
He's at the top of the steps.
You can follow.
He's at the top of the hallway with the sword guy, keeping him company.
To win.
Watch out, this guy's right too. Right there. Good. Get the sword. Get the ball. Get the ball. I got it.
I got it.
He's dead. He should be dead.
Get it. Shu, I'm gonna defend the bottom with the
Coming
sword.
straight away.
Come
Up
come
top,
into
two up
the
top.
come into the hallway, Shu. Keep moving. Back up. Back up. Back up.
Oh, they're upstairs. I think, no, we're good.
All right.
Good. Get back in the hall.
Come on.
30 seconds. We got it. We got it. We got it.
Favor
low. Favor low.
They're coming through the middle, through the middle, through the middle.
I dropped the sword up there.
Where is it? I'm following you, I'm following you.
Keep moving, because
I'll get on the top of this hallway.
It's killing us. Keep go low. Go low.
Go across.
Go low?
Oh shit, they got me. Who told me to run across?
Luke, head towards it. Behind you.
Good.
Fuck. Fuck, I'm getting shot from behind. Fuck.
It's okay.
Wow, we're almost all dead anyway.
Shit.
It's neutral down there.
It's still neutral. Go grab it. Good, Mark.
Alright.
Good.
Oh, I had it. Motherfuck. Sword's right by you.
Alright.
Oh shit, they got it.
Get him with the sword.
Shit, there's so many grenades. Fuck.
Oh,
Come on,
yes.
gotta kill him.
Grab
Kill
that
him.
shit. Yes. Give me the Rob, drop down now.
I'm dropping.
Hurry, neutral ball.
Grab it.
I got it. Fuck!
Okay. Grab it. Run.
Come on, just keep jumping.
No.
Shit! Anyone in the area?
Fuck, what?
Get him, over.
Yes.
Yeah!
Oh.
Behind you.
I know. I'm running.
Go!
Yes!
Critical kill! A critical kill!
Very nice.
That was the best game of ball I've ever seen.
That was ridiculous.
I was really glad to hear
really
Rob
good.
like fully communicating.
It was lucky.
And he was like,
Lucky clutch kill.
You practice when you need to practice.
And we had to force him to play more like a teammate too,
Yeah.
because he's a very good individual player.
I thought we were really outmatched from the first couple games, and I'm like, this is going to be just ridiculous.
The last few seconds, I was like, they caught up, and then we caught up, and then they caught up, and it was awesome.
You're like, Rob, drop. And I'm like, okay, it's second level. I go down in the basement, I see this dude, and it's like, melee, back of that dead.
Because
Right here.
Because
Fuck
you
you.
died, because then you died, and then you grabbed the ball, and then Hoberman was coming to kill you. So is that like Super Bowl vengeance? I'm still alive. I'm still feeling it from the games last night. Those got to be 2 of the best games I've ever played.
Last kill on Slayer, 50-49.
Last kill on Slayer, holding the ball as Oddball ended. Like, it was such a two perfect games. You know, just like I think they're probably the two best games of Halo 2 I've ever had.
It was like it was a sea change for you from the night before.
It was, and not best for me personally, but best like as a team, like having it happen so close and like just finally pull it out at the very end.
I think
it's like perfect. We shouldn't play anymore. I don't. That should be our last final 2 games. I'll have that beautiful, pristine memory of you in Halo. We just won't play anymore after that.
Yeah, you really couldn't have written a better ending than